good. So I think wrestling builds that mental capacity that you need to go into the octagon and fight. I mean, in a wrestling match, it's just you and another opponent, and then on the outside of the mat, it's just your coach is yelling at you what to do. In the UFC, that's or in combat sports, that's basically what you're getting.
And just the ability to control the ground.
And control the ground. Control the ground. I would say every sport is pretty good for mixed martial arts. You know, when I did cross country, I think my cross country days have really paid off for me fighting. I know how to push the pace. In a cross country, you have to know how to compete while racing, and people don't understand that unless you run cross country. But if a guy who runs a mile in his mile pace for 5K is he's running maybe a 5:15 mile. So you have to pace. And let's say I can't run a 5:15 mile for 3 miles straight, but you have to learn how to pace yourself at that. Okay, you got you've just hit the 3 mile mark, so you know you got 0.1 left. So now you need to start your kick, even though you've kept a pace. You got to learn how to push it. Then your lungs build that lung capacity to learn how to take the oxygen and disperse it into your muscles. So I would say every sport I've done is contribute to my success in mixed martial arts.
Is there one particular training secret that you can pull away from all the various types of training you've done? Like whether it's, I mean, we're big advocates of burpees here, of deadlifts, and things like that. Like, is there one move that you feel like has changed you the most physically, or that's had the most lasting kind of impact on you that you do?
Rest.
Just rest, yeah.
Rest. Rest. A lot of people think more is more. Like, the more you do in the gym is better for you, but it's actually, it can hinder your body. So when you ask me, is there a special technique you can do? Yeah, resting is a technique itself, giving your body the chance to actually relax, to reap the benefits that you've put into the gym. Because who is it? Taylor Warner was one of the things he said to me was very interesting when he started getting ready for the role of Twilight, being Jacob. First couple, I think it was the first movie when he was kind of scrawny, whatever. Then all of a sudden he shows up, he's huge, and he goes, "Dude, I uptake my calorie intake, and I hit the gym, and I didn't do abs every day. I let my body kind of put on the weight, not burn the calories, and rest is a huge, huge success."
What about when you're trying to cut down, when you're trying to get very lean? A lot of guys struggle to lose that last 5-10 pounds.
Yeah, I think that's all diet. I mean, you can never outwork the fork. You can never outrun the fork. So it always comes down to eat. That's why I say I'm a creature of habit. I always have the same meals all the time. That when it comes time for me to shed the last 15 pounds of the weight I need to go, and then I have to shed that a healthy way. Because anybody can lose weight unhealthily. You look at Matthew McConaughey's diet for Dallas Buyers Club. It was an apple and a cigarette and a coffee for 6 weeks. Yeah, he lost the weight, but he looked unhealthy as hell. I'm sure he can do it the healthy way, but for me, I'm doing it the healthy way, and within 24 hours, I'm turning around and competing at the highest level of combat sports and not getting tired and being able to compete there. So it's always about diet and your water intake.
Anything come in from?
Give me the good ones too. Hi, Demetrious Johnson.
Just lots of highs from around the world.
Kerry Patrick.
How you doing? Are you into calisthenics training?
Calisthenics training. I believe that's more of your body weight, right?
Yeah,
I think.
More
it's like push-ups.
Sit-ups.
I'm huge into that. I believe, when you get into the point of CrossFit, this is for mixed martial arts training only. When you get into more of the things of CrossFit, even bench press or bodybuilding, it kind of only goes so far to where, for me, all I need to do is throw a man that weighs 145 pounds, or technically 125 pounds, but they only weigh that much for maybe 5 minutes. So I feel like the push-ups, the pull-ups, the sit-ups, the natural body movement is way more sufficient than having I can't remember the word. Useless muscles that don't do anything. They look good. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of going in and doing my beach body muscle workouts. I like to look good, so don't you worry about that.
And on that, are there trainers you follow? Anybody whose advice that you prioritize when you're training? Like you mentioned with beach body and that kind of stuff. Is there one particular? I don't want to celebrity trainer.
No, not really celebrity trainers, but I've looked at other. What's it called? Other celebrities, what they do to get their bodies ready for certain movie roles or whatnot. But then again, there are also I mean, I've heard some celebrities say they've taken, HGH and steroids. They're like, dude, this is how I make my money. And they say, I got to look this big by the time this movie shoot starts. So I need to, start doing that stuff. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of that because your body has to rely on that. I think you can get there a certain way. But Ryan Reynolds, he was a huge one. I remember seeing him in Van Wilder looking super, like, scrawny. The next thing you know, he's in Blade Trinity. He's like, yeah. And then I saw his regimen, how he add avocado into his diet, L-glutamine, how many sit-ups he did, how many times he worked that day, or Brad Pitt when he did the role for Troy. Just I follow those guys. So when it comes to me doing my beach body workout, where I'm not right now, when I go to the gym, I focus more on just looking good and keeping my tendons and my muscles healthy and getting blood pumping to them. But once it starts me getting ready for my fights, I totally flip the script. It's totally different workouts I'm doing.
Do you think? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, could you elaborate on that a bit more? Because obviously, for your fights, you're in ridiculous conditioning shape. So, what is the training like going into that?
So we never wait till we get told this is who you're fighting and this is who you're fighting. I look at the calendar. I'm like, okay, I want to fight this date. So my next fight is I want to fight February 5th. Then I'll take amount of time and we'll break down a block. Say, okay, we're going to do this for 3 weeks or 4 weeks. We're going to do this for another 3 weeks and so forth to be closer to the fight. And in each of those weeks, we're focusing on certain techniques, focusing on different different systems of the body. So you always hear people, oh, this man has knockout power, but his cardio is horrible. You can't have both. You just can't. You can't have, you can't have, the big booty woman here with the big tits, and you can't have you could. Your wife can have that, but it just doesn't coexist. We have to call it a unicorn. When you find it, you let me know, okay? But you can't have both. So the best thing you can do is get to. What's that? No. They do. But the best thing you can do is get to that middle, that have both the best worlds, to where you can fight all night if you need to, but once you get yourself in the right position and land that knockout shot, you can be able to do it. So that's what we try to do. So 1 week, 3 weeks, we just do straight power. And the reason why we have to block them off, because when you do power stuff, when you're lifting heavy, that's when you tend to get you're most likely to get injured. Because when I'm doing all these different training regimens, I'm also doing my Muay Thai, my sparring, my Jiu-Jitsu. So if I'm lifting heavy and I'm about to go do a hard sparring session, the likelihood of me getting injured is going to go up. It's going to go significantly up through the roof.
What kind of injuries have you had?
During training or just in general fighting?
Training, yeah.
During training, I always pull stuff. I pulled my popliteus my last training camp. I hurt my back and my rib. What else did I hurt? I remember I hurt something else, but I couldn't remember. So those come over the long and the hard and the pounding. For 3 weeks, we just did long distance cardio, to where I was running 5 miles on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And my coach was like, hey, the goal is to run 5 miles under 30 minutes. So that's you're pushing it. And the mile time I was averaging was like maybe 6-minute miles. So, but underneath that, and then I was pushing the whole time. And so I'll run 5 miles in the morning, relax, go have my chicken, brown rice, cucumbers with a lot of water. Come back at night, do 5 rounds of pads, and then we'll grapple and do our technique. Then on Tuesday we will go swim, recovery, work my body, get the muscles, warmed up, elongated. Then Tuesday night I would spar hard for 5 rounds. Then I'll probably do maybe 7 rounds. Then after that, we'll do Muay Thai, working technique. Then Wednesday morning, 5 miles again, same pace. We gotta push it. So all that beating on my body is tearing it up. That's why I said rest is the best technique. Because you're training for a world title fight. How many days you're training? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays once, Friday double, Saturday once. So I have Wednesday night off, all of Thursday off, Saturday night off, all of Sunday off. So I basically got 2 full rest days in there.
You don't do anything on that Thursday?
I don't do shit.
Really?
I sit there, take care of the kids and wife, and I just relax. Same with Sunday. Wednesday night, I don't do nothing. I don't even go out to eat and eat a big burger, eat some fries, because my body needs that. Like, a lot of people are like, I need to count my calories, how much is this way? No, your body needs that. And that's the thing, like, we heard a story that a guy moved to distilled water and he ended up having seizures, and he was a fighter. And then the guy was like, you can't, and then the doctor, he's like, You can't do that, man. Like your body will let you know what it needs. Like if you're thirsty, you should drink some water. You can drink beer, you can drink coffee, but the best thing for your body is going to be water. So for me, I'm all about feel. And even when I'm training, we go off feel. Like my coach is like, I'll come in. He goes, "How do you feel today?" And I was like, this hurts. And he goes, "Okay, let's mix it up. Let's do this instead." So.
Do you tailor any part of your routine to the person that you're fighting next? Like if you're fighting a notorious striker, like will you compare it to a wrestler, like somebody that?
Would I tell them what I do, or what will I change?
When you're training, like, do you train a certain way to fight a person who's like of a certain discipline?
Nope. The reason why is because then you're getting away from the integrity of becoming a complete martial artist. Like the last opponent I fought, John Dotson, he is known for his striking and having knockout power. That didn't mean we stopped working on our wrestling game, our jiu-jitsu game, our grappling game. We didn't do that. If we were to do that, then we are negating myself from evolving my skill set. So when it comes to my next opponent, possibly he can be, a grappler. Does that mean we just stop striking? No, absolutely not. We just keep on grappling and keep on striking, and then we'll look at what the opponent does well. Then after that, we'll assess it, and then that's it. Because I should be able to, if me and you were to get in a fight right now, I should be able to get close to you, feel what you can do well, get back, see where your faults are at, and put you where you can't survive. And that's how a martial arts should be able to fight.
That's exactly what would happen.
but when you have that mindset, that's the way you should view fighting or martial arts, is that it's almost something like one of my coaches said, wrestling is the struggle between two men trying to beat the other. And each time when you get in a fight, you're going to have this collision. And when this collision happens, the person who's versatile in the sport or in fighting should win.
Right.
Technically, whether he's bigger, stronger,
himself in any situation.
What's
handle himself?
Handle in every situation.
Wherever you get into. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think we got to wrap up in just a minute, guys. But yeah, go ahead.
I'll just say quickly, congratulations first of all. Awesome fight. Big fan. I'll just say, so this is kind of personal for personal reasons, but how old are your kids?
2 years and 5 months.
5 months. So I got a boy. He's 5 years old.
Yep.
I've been a huge boxing fan, huge MMA fan.
Yep.
When is the best age to start him in any disciplines? My wife's very against boxing.
Yeah,
And,
I am too.
Yeah.
I mean, they make good money. Don't get me wrong; they make a lot of money. But my biggest thing is that when I look at my kids, and I even look at myself for a good example, is that I didn't do any discipline in any sport, or any martial arts until I got in middle school and I started wrestling. But the one thing that I did do was I was very active. I was outside. I played soccer with my friends. I played kick the can. I played tag. I played build the fort. I played Street Wars. Out there playing Star Wars swords fight. So I think I was building my athletic ability at that time. It's where I was out there being a kid. So nowadays you're seeing a lot of parents like, "Okay, come on, son, you got to run that ball." Dad, I'm only 5. I don't give a damn. You got to hit that whole hard, son. Cam Newton was doing that stuff. He was throwing balls when he was 2. So that's the thing that I try to, I've wrestled with kids in my wrestling club when they were 2 or 3, and then you see them grow up and they're just great at wrestling. That's it. You give them a basketball, you throw a basketball in their hand, they're like, right. But with me, I was out there playing basketball. You give me basketball, I can dribble. If I was to play, football, I can get the ball and run and catch and do my inside drills. So I was doing all the sports. That way, when I got into my career path, which was mixed martial arts, Matt's like, "Hey, we're gonna run 5 miles." Perfect. I ran cross country. Hey, we're gonna go swimming. I've never swum in my life, but I can get the, I'm a great swimmer now. When he says we're gonna play soccer, okay, I got good footwork. I became versatile in all those sports instead of, hey, you're just gonna do boxing. So
all around there.
Just
You don't feel like kids up to 5 is gonna be violent the rest of the kids.
No. I don't think so. I mean, it could. You never know. I mean, you never know. But that's the biggest thing, is that when I see kids even at the Indoor Athletics and they're 12, 13, they're doing the workouts I'm doing, I was like, dude, you need to go home and be a fucking kid. You just need to go be a kid. Go home, play tag. But now we have technology nowadays to where it kind of gets away from, when I was a kid. I'm sure when you guys were kids, you guys didn't have cell phones. You guys were, "Mom, I'm going to Billy's house. I'll be back for dark." You're gone all day. And you would play outside, do jump on trampoline. come home, then you sit down in front of the TV. Nowadays you don't get that. You see kids, Mom, I'll play World of Warcraft, blah, 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 blah. That's what you get. So.